What is going on, guys? I am Pixel Dan, and right now I'm actually at my hotel for PowerCon. That's right, PowerCon, the He-Man and She-Ra fan convention, is happening this weekend, and right now, setup is going on downstairs, and I have already got some fun things that I just couldn't wait to tell you guys about. So one of the exciting things is that Mattel is here at PowerCon, and they're setting up a very small Masters of the Universe and Princess of Power display down there on the show floor, and they've got some pretty cool things that I want to talk to you guys about. So if you saw my coverage from San Diego Comic-Con just recently, you'll know that they showed off a few little things that they're hoping to do with Masters of the Universe. They've got some stuff that they're planning, that they're hoping to bring to life and make reality. And some of those things were down here on display, but they had some new things as well. So, one of the things that they had going on were the 5.5 figures, and they showed these guys at San Diego Comic-Con. These are, of course, done in the vintage style. They had like a new Slime Pit He-Man, an Anti-Eternia He-Man, but now they've got jumbo figures also in those styles. If you guys remember, Mattel released some jumbo vintage figures a couple years ago, but these right here are new sculpts. Specifically, the head is a brand new sculpt. The head that was on the one that Mattel released was really jacked up. It was kind of wrong and goofy and weird looking, so this one is a fixed head sculpt. So they're brand new head sculpts, and they had several variations on display. They had that Slime Pit He-Man, they had Anti-Eternia He-Man, they had a Faker done in that style, complete with the chest sticker there under the armor. They had a Prince Adam, complete with the cloth tunic that he's wearing. They had a new version of He-Man with that fixed head sculpt, and even a Wondar or a Savage He-Man on display there. So it was really interesting to see these. They look incredible. It's really cool seeing all these different variations. And of course, they had the little 5.5 vintage figures standing alongside them. And I talked to Brandon Sapinski. He was down there. We're going to get a more in-depth interview or chat over the weekend, so hopefully he can give you guys all the full details. So we can't disclose a lot of things yet, but all he said was that there's plans for these jumbo figures, and there's plans for those vintage 5.5 figures. So that's pretty exciting stuff. For the world of She-Ra, a bunch of the dolls were on display. Now, if you remember a few years ago at San Diego Comic-Con, there was an exclusive She-Ra doll, and back then they had showed off a couple other figures that they were hoping to produce. So those are back on display here. Natasha and Catra are in the display with She-Ra, along with Glimmer, and they look really, really great. And you can see that there's they've got a sampling of some of the accessories specifically for Catra that might come with these dolls if they are able to be produced. And then in the case next to that, the Teela and the Evil Lyn that we saw at San Diego Comic-Con were back on display. We've also got a Sorceress, which looks pretty incredible, and a He-Man. And the He-Man looks like there's two different heads, because there's a head that's made in the style of the rest of the dolls, but then there is a more vintage toy-inspired head also. It's unpainted, but it's in the case with it. So it looks like they are planning an entire line of these dolls for the He-Man and She-Ra characters. So pretty cool to see. Right next to that was a display for Mega Constructs, and there were some brand new figures on display. So we knew that Man-at-Arms and Evil Lyn were coming. Man-at-Arms and Evil Lyn were both here, but revealed here are Scareglow and Stratos. So new wave of the Mega Constructs Heroes line coming out, which is going to include those two new characters for Masters of the Universe, which is pretty exciting. And aside from that, they also had a big multi-pack that's on display, which Brandon told me is pretty much production. Like, that is pretty much ready to go. He did mention that the only thing that he thinks is going to be a little different is he thinks the Faker's going to have a different deco. He says that he was thinking that the armor might be the pink armor from the vintage card backs. But it's basically a 5-pack that contains all the figures that have already come out, but like in one 5-pack there. Looks like there was like a card or something in there with it. So it's He-Man, Skeletor, Teela, Beastman, and Faker all in a box set. So if you missed out on the single packs, it looks like you'll have an opportunity to pick them up in a multi-pack. And then, confirmation, which something we were pretty certain was coming, is the Wind Raider. So we're getting an actual building set now for Mega Construx. So the box is there showing you the Wind Raider. The Wind Raider build is actually in the case there, looking pretty great. And I'm hoping that this is just going to open the doors for more Masters of the Universe Mega Construx building sets, because we all want Castle Grayskull, right? Aside from that, they did just have the art-styled masks on display again. These are neat. These are just for fun. Different artists did their work on all these different masks. One of the masks specifically was really crazy because it's like a screen print of Dolph Lundgren's face, and it's really weird looking, but really awesome at the same time. So that is some pretty exciting stuff for the world of Masters of the Universe, and I wanted to show you guys this stuff tonight before the convention actually got underway. But stay tuned, because I am planning to meet up with Brandon sometime over the course of this convention, so I can actually do an interview with him and we can talk to him and hopefully get some full details on everything that is on display here at the show. So from PowerCon 2018, this is Pixel Dan. Until next time, my friends.